Hey guys, it's Jody with the Whiskey Rebellion Barcast. It's David right here.
What's up?
Don't mind him. Anyhow, guys, this is our world. This is what we're doing, and we're having a good time. We have kind of an interesting, controversial conversation topic that we're going to talk about this evening, but we'll get to that right after my monologue. All right, so I'm having a drink tonight for 160 of my colleagues that were terminated with no notice today. Like they were brought to a meeting that they had to get right onto like almost like a Zoom. And this is not like dirtbag colleagues. These are like really good people, 160 of them. And they were let go. And it's not the way I think you ought to do it, in my opinion. Now, granted, I'm sure they're getting severance and stuff like that, but it's just not some of these people are, you're talking about some of them being doctors and at the absolute least being MBA holders and stuff like that. And they're being removed from a position, probably the first time a lot of them since they were 16 ever been fired, essentially in the termination aspect of it. So for me, I wouldn't say I knew all of them, but many of them I did. I reached out to several of them today. And so I'm having my drink to them tonight, which is the foolproof 1792 store pick that Rob got me from West Virginia, I believe. Anyways, guys, how's everybody doing?
Not bad. I woke up.
Yeah. Are you hungry?
I was getting ready to say something. You hungry?
I just had a burger, but I didn't eat my salad, so I am kind of hungry.
Okay. We'll get to that salad in the after show if you guys want to stick around for that.
I will. The minute we stop recording.
So,
what's everyone drinking?
Well, I was going to go different from that. I was not going to go straight to what everybody's drinking. I was going to go straight to Rob and Chuck because both of them are our last two, I guess, candidates for the Bellmead Honey, and I want to get their perspective on it.
Oh,
let's do that first.
I am. So I'm just sitting here. I've been swirling for a little bit. This is actually, I found this to be quite nice. When I'm thinking honey whiskey, I'm thinking Jim Beam honey, Jack honey. That's really kind of overly sweet to me. This is not overly sweet at all. This is, you get sweet on the nose. So you're getting some sweetness on the nose. You definitely get it on the palate. You get a lot of vanilla. You get you get some honey in the background, but it's not. To me, it's not honey forward. It's not like someone dumped honey into that whiskey and stirred it in there, and you're sipping on honey. This is really a very nice sip.
Question for you on that. All right, so here in Tennessee, as soon as people won their lottery picks, picked it up, and I don't even know if you really participate in it. I'm gonna ask you the same question, Chuck, when you get ready after you have your tasting on it. I seen it anywhere from $750 to $1,100. I think Lil John was telling me that he had, he was telling me he had seen it for $1,200 in the secondary. And then the day of the show, right before the show, I did see it listed, the 106 for $800. So do you feel it's worth that? Would you pay that in secondary for it?
I wouldn't pay that much for a whiskey ever.
Okay.
I wouldn't.
Yeah, I'm right there with you.
No.
What would you pay for it? Just curious.
I don't know the whole backstory on it. I don't know how long it's aged.
So you didn't watch the show?
Break his balls, why don't you?
I've worked 47 of the last 70 hours. Yeah, I haven't had time to do much of a whole lot of anything.
I'm just saying we talked about the backstory on it.
But $80 to $100.
Yeah, I am again right there with you. I think it's really good whiskey. That is probably about what my price point would be Now people want to pay more. That's cool. Good for you. But I couldn't do it.
I was flipping through Cask Cartel. I don't know. They had it listed at $2,999 on Cask Cartel.
Good.
What?
Don't meet honey.
They'll meet honey.
Oh my God. You know what's bad is they have it listed there because some jackass will.
Somebody will buy it.
that
Yeah.
much.
Unfortunately.
All right. Not that this is associated with you, Chuck, but what do you think about it? Have you had a swirl or a taste of it or
Yes,
what?
I have. And on the nose, I get cinnamon candy, little nutmeg.
See,
I can see
I
that.
said
I didn't get that.
A
I
lot of
said
cinnamon.
apple. I said apple honey is what I said.
A lot
I
of
can see it.
cinnamon, like graham crackers, cinnamon, nutmeg, orange peel.
Hmm.
Do you get any cedar?
Yeah, it's funny you mentioned that. I was going to say maple.
Well, when
But-
you talked about the apple cider or whatever you said, the first part, or the apple cinnamon, I think that's what you said.
Mhm.
That would be a very similar cedar smell.
Yeah, because I got kind of like a caramel apple thing. My nose though, it was very almost like a wildflower, almost an herby kind of floral nose to it. And of course,
Like a
mine's
burnt
gone now,
caramel.
but- Mhm.
Burnt caramel, a little pear.
Hmm.
Yeah, I didn't pick up all that nonsense.
Maybe
I think
just a
I think he
little-
has a more refined nose than probably anybody in this group though.
I don't know, but have you seen your nose? It's a ginormous.
It's
nose.
not refined. It's just big. There's nothing refined. We're very blunt up here.
Goddamn thing is useless.
You know what? How about
Not
ginger snap
entirely,
cookies?
Billy. Not entirely.
Ginger snap cookies.
Well, see, that would
It's
be.
like- because he knows what I mean.
I didn't hear you. I stopped listening to you. I was listening to him talking about ginger snap. That would make sense because Mal picked up like a honeycomb taste or smell.
Okay. All right.
I could see that.
What'd you get on the taste? There you go. You're tasting it. So
Very syrupy.
see, I didn't get that. Matter of fact, I talked about it being
Mhm.
light. It's not really oily.
It's got like a rich honey taste to it. Almost like your what would that be, like a honey cough syrup type, but not that harsh cough syrup taste to it. But it's got a
Chuck,
it-
let me ask you, have
Yeah.
you had anything else today, recently, just before this one?
no.
Okay.
I had cheese, but other than that, no.
Okay.
And some water.
That's interesting.
So little spiced apple, pear, raspberry,
Mm.
but it's got that honey sweetness to it,
Oh, it does
where it
definitely
just
have that.
coats
Yeah.
it coats your throat. It really does.
Mhm.
See, I didn't think
We all
but
talked
then-
about that. The linger of it.
I didn't feel that
afterwards.
the linger was that long, and I didn't feel that it was. It had a nice bite to it.
What is
Yeah.
this? 106 proof. It knocks that down. It takes that proof and it just mellows it out.
So
That honey does.
Yeah.
Yeah, I would put this right at about 100 to me. That my thoughts would be anyway.
Yes.
Oh, that's right. You're trying it too for the first time.
I had to
That's
go get
funny
it real quick
because
and
other
start.
people who tried it were talking about when we did the show on.
I thought
we
it
were
was
talking
much
about
hotter.
that it was much hotter than what it was rated at. What did you say? 106.
106. Yeah,
Anybody
See,
ever
it-
had bit of honey candy?
I've never even heard of it.
Oh, it's
I've
been
heard of it. I don't think I've
It's
had
been
it.
an age.
Okay.
I don't think I've had
It's
it.
been a while.
Yeah, bit of honey candy. It's been a while for me as well, but yeah, bit of
What
honey
about-
candy.
What about you, Marky Mark?
So I get the cinnamon. I definitely get the cedar that you're talking about. I was almost hesitant to say cedar until you did because I just finished having a cigar. So
Mm.
I can see where that would.
yeah.
Yeah, that
But
gives
I get that. Now in terms of honey, I get, is it and I'm not reading, so you got to forgive my enunciations. The Manuka honey.
Yes,
That's what I'm getting.
the Australian stuff.
Yeah, that's
Slingers.
what I get.
It was great.
It's funny that
I-
you say cigar, because what we're talking about here on mute is that to be honest with you, I've destroyed my palate. As soon as I took a puff on it, it'd be done. I'd have to go get some Clorox and pull a Trump and clean my mouth out. But like I could have a cigar and then maybe have Fossil Creek and be raving about it being the best thing ever.
I was drinking, damn it.
Yeah.
I was taking a sip.
It was pretty solid.
Yeah, I would buy this.
It's inside of my mouth
Freaking
is an
great.
ashtray right now, so everything kind of tastes like that.
And I definitely get why you say syrup. It drinks thicker. It drinks thicker than
See, I said
Most
the
other
exact
bourbons.
opposite. I do
Yeah, I
not
agree.
think it drinks it thick. I thought it was actually much thinner.
really.
And I think it's got a nice finish to it as well. It really just
It
that
has a
honey
great
comes
finish.
It
Yeah.
comes
does.
Love
through
the-
and it just
love the
continues
finish.
on and on and on.
Love the finish.
Yeah,
And
I
at the
like-
very end,
Tastes
I
great.
get like a furniture, like an oak furniture taste to it, where it's been finished with that orange oil.
That's funny. I've used that same analogy for another drink one time, talking about the orange oil
I think I know
cleaning product.
Yeah, it's like yes, I remember. It was one of the BTACs.
Yes, it was the handy.
Yes,
Oh, gotcha.
everybody likes a good handy.
Even our boy
I'm
Phil
sorry.
Cosby.
I went left.
Oh,
I'm
yeah.
sorry.
Oh,
I'm sorry. I went left.
too soon.
But as far as secondary goes,
Bastard.
I don't think I would pay the $1,200 for it.
God, no.
No,
No.
none of us said
I-
that either. In the
I
video
think
you
this
watched
would
it.
probably. I think I would go as far as maybe $250.
See, that's exactly what I said, 250, and I said I may stretch it up to about the Rock Hill Farms price point, but I do think Rock Hill Farms is a better product.
So you're at like what, 400?
No, 300.
Okay.
Is it 400 where you live?
Yeah.
Rock Hill Farms. Wow.
Yeah, that's what I'm seeing. 4 or 5, actually.
Yeah, about 4.25.
Yeah.
Depends on it. Sometimes it's even higher.
Wow.
Just depends on what month it is.
It's crazy. All right. So that was awesome that we get to finish up on some of that. But let's talk about the nonsense or the dumbfuckery. I like that term. The dumbfuckery that occurs on all the bourbon channels. Same ones we post to: Bourbon Junkies, Bourbon Nation.
Am I doing it right?
I used to post on whiskey, Scotch, bourbon enthusiast until I got, I guess, kicked out of that group. My favorite one that posts stupid nonsense is the Whiskey Veterans Club. I don't think those guys know what they're drinking ever. I mean, like they'll show a bottle of garbage and like, look what I found. I'm like, why would you ever show anybody that?
What was it?
I mean, they've posted everything.
There's so many bottles.
Yeah,
like
like
unironically, like Willet Pot Still or something.
they've done
like
that
nice.
one.
Oh,
They've also done like Jack Daniel's Single Barrel, and I'm like, like, that's not anything worth posting. I've seen Crown posted. And I'm like,
Oh
who
God.
the hell posts Crown?
Brown
Listen.
peach.
I call it what you want, but I don't drink Crown. And
No, I don't either.
I'll say this: Black people are notorious for drinking Crown
That and Hennessy.
and Hennessy. There's no offense. There's nothing offensive about
No,
it.
it's true. It's true.
Statement, and I will not touch the
whiskey.
stuff.
I do not own either one and haven't, and God knows when.
The last thing of Crown I had was brought to me by my family that lived in Canada, and they brought me a special bottle that's only found in Canada, and it was good for Crown. All right, but it's not something that, I mean, it took a year to drink it. It's not something I prefer. You had some of it here because it was here. It was when Jerry was down here.
Yeah.
Can you click off of Lil John right there where he's making notes and it shows up for everybody right in the middle of the screen? There you go.
All right.
So anyhow, back to the dumbfuckery. So we get dumbfuckery that appears on all these bourbon pages. Do we have a favorite? Does anybody want to go first?
Well,
As far as what?
Well,
Are you talking about content or like?
Well,
a
let me explain.
Favorite
let
to
me explain-
dislike?
Hold on a second. Let me explain dumbfuckery. All right, so maybe that'll help you out. Dumbfuckery is when people either post flexing posts or am I doing this right, or the fight me or prove me wrong. I don't know. Now I did see one the other day where the guy was sitting in the bathtub with hairy ass legs, and dude, that was hilarious.
Someone's like, I found Bigfoot.
Yes, and I was like, dude,
I
that's
can't remember
fantastic.
what bottle it was.
so for me, first, I'm doing Bartstown and I'm doing Smoke Wagon.
Nice.
Thanks
Nice.
to my guy Mark with the Smoke Wagon. Funny story, real quick. I opened up this bottle and I don't know what happened, but it was half gone, and literally the wife had to keep me from falling back downstairs trying to get to the bedroom.
With the smoke wagon?
Yeah.
Shit.
Woo, it was a good night. I will definitely say Bourbon Nation and WS, whatever that one is. I think those two groups are the most notorious for the quote unquote, am I doing it right or
Doing it white? Did you say doing it white?
I
heard.
Here we go.
We can play this back, and I will do that. I know I heard doing it white. Is that so? I need you to expound on what doing it white means. 'Cause I haven't seen that one, and I need to know what that dumbfuckery means.
Okay,
it means
so
it means someone
Okay,
put
so
raisins
let
in
me-
potato
so
salad,
let-
right?
let
Is
me
that what you're
let me
talking about?
explain doing it white. Doing it white is when you lift unnecessary shit to the point you hurt yourself. That's the top of the line.
You realize Ron Coleman is black as fuck.
Listen, you asked a
I'm just
question.
asking. I'm asking you a question. Do you know,
I'm speaking from a close friend's personal experience.
I understand that, but do you know who wrote Ron Coleman is? Ronnie
No,
Coleman.
I don't.
He was a police officer and a bodybuilder, and he got a documentary on Netflix right now where he is broken as hell, and he done it when he was squatting 890 something pounds, I think.
He's a big bastard.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, like you don't want to get. Well, I wouldn't mind getting pulled over by him now because you could outrun the fuck out of him. Like he had to get his cane out and maybe a walker.
He's had several surgeries too on his
Yes.
back.
Yeah.
But he looks horrible now. But it's a great, by the way, great documentary. But man, you watch like all the stuff he did to get big, and he was natural. He wasn't. There was never any.
Eat it in juice. Is that what you mean?
Yeah,
Okay.
there was no alleged steroids abuse when he was doing it. Unlike that doing it white guy, the one with the flat top back in the same time that was really big. I forget his name.
Oh,
Yeah.
shit. I know what you're talking about.
Anyway, it's not important. But anyway, so we now know what doing it white is. I didn't even know that was a post on Bourbon Nation and whiskey. Bourbon
So
Scotch.
those two groups to me seem to be the most notorious for those kind of posts, especially with the flexing and the stupid Russo pours and doing the chugs and all that.
Bottle chugs.
Yeah, I kind of hate that. To me, I feel like, I don't know, I think it kind of takes the class out of it. You know, if
The
you're gonna
drain
chug-
pours too. That bothers me. 'Cause
Yeah,
like
it's just,
don't get me wrong, Fossil Creek, best candidate in the world for a drain pour. But I get it. And I did pour out that sample. But
20 years from now, he's going to be talking about that.
They're not
He's
gonna be around
determined to
20.
get me shot.
No, but
He's
you're going to be
determined to get
around
me
and you're
shot.
still going to talk about it.
I'm probably part of the reason why I can't go back to Georgia, because he was probably,
He picked up Fossil Creek in Georgia.
I don't know, but he probably was hooking up with somebody that was
No.
like
Oh boy.
Fossil Creek Distillery.
Jesus Christ. So I don't know, those two groups I think are the most notorious for doing that kind of shit. When I see those posts, I really just kind of scroll past it. I was like, okay, if that's what you want to do. And I'm with Rob. There's certain things I will willing to pay a price for, but I don't care how much money I had. A couple of things I probably never buy, and it's just me. Not there's anything wrong with it. As much as I'm into watches, I'm not gonna buy a Rolex. I think it's a little played out sometimes. And I will never pay $1,200-$1,300 for any bottle. I just don't see myself doing it. on top of that, my wife has a gun, and I don't want to have to deal with that. So
Yeah.
it's okay. I don't want to have to come home and explain that. I can explain putting 35s on the Jeep, no problem. That's easy. But yeah, honey, I spent $1,300 on a bottle of. I wouldn't even get the sentence out, and I'd be shot. So no. Okay. Yeah.
If anybody out there, I'm with Billy. I don't pay a lot for my watches, but if anybody out there wants to gift me a Rolex, I'm okay with that.
Can I handwrite it?
The greatest nation in the world is donation, right?
So I want to say hello to Jack and Jack, tell me, do you have any of those? I don't know, any of those, like, does any of those type of posts bother you?
Oh, where do I begin?
You can start with hello, since I just welcomed you to the show.
Oh, hey everybody, how's it going?
How's it going?
I actually made some clear ice.
Hey, there you go.
Those used to be the ones I hated the most.
My clear ice posts. I know.
Not just yours.
Doing some.
But like when you guys would get into like a little nerd out conversation, that made it even better.
I still do that.
I know you do.
Still do that. I have a couple of just cubes just chilling here, waiting to get to room temperature. So, just drinking some Kirkland's small batch. Bam.
Hey, is that any good? Because I've heard people picking that up at Costco.
I paid $18 for it.
Was it at Costco?
18.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, Costco, $18.99 plus tax, depending on where you are. If Washington State, it's like $87 out the door.
Right.
Whoa, my God.
Like $30 in taxes.
Ridiculous. Don't go to Washington State. So to buy your liquor anyway. It's not too bad. I had a little ethanol off the front. I did put it on an ice cube right away.
Was made by Barton.
Yeah.
If I saw it on the bottle, right? Barton 1792.
1792.
Yep. This one here is 92 proof. I think everybody has batch 1124. I think batch 1124 is like a big shipping container they dumped it all into. But it's not, I think it's for $18-20. It's not horrible. It does have a little bit of
that is a liter for
for a liter. Yeah. I don't smell 37 different types of fruits and caramels and all that stuff when I sniff it. You know what? I just smell bourbon. But it's actually, it's not bad. I think it'd be really good as a mixer, maybe like in an old fashioned, because it has a little bit of that high kind of tingle off the end of it, off the back end, even for being a lower proof. I think it's probably a really decent mixer. I don't know if I would really sit here and enjoy it as a neat pour. So there you go. That's what I got for that one.
Cool. What about Post?
The buffoonery.
We were talking about that.
AKA dumb fuckery, but yes.
No, I think he was talking about someone had used that term earlier prior to you getting on the show about the buffoonery.
Yeah, I think the admin for Bourbon Nation posted that if you post any buffoonery, they will mute you for a series of days, if not ban you altogether. So
what is buffoonery classified as?
I think it's just the PG version of dumb fuckery and crotch shots.
Okay.
So yeah,
those are my to stop.
But I don't know either. I mean, it's stupid. It's. I used to post on there just because I was kind of proud of what I purchased and kind of wanted to just say, hey, look what I got. Not as far as like, hey, I'm bragging, I got something you didn't get. It was never a post like that. It was just more of like, hey, look, I got lucky, or somebody put this aside for me, or whatever the case. But these guys, it's like nowadays, it's who has the biggest sack laying around. I mean, unfortunately, Jody, the doctor took yours the other day, last couple of months, but
that's not what happened.
But
that's what he's going with.
I think that's gonna be the running joke, right? So
Well, you're getting ready to get muted from this channel too.
Zach has left the call. Oh, look at that. No.
oh
Somebody feels like taking shots at everybody, huh?
So moving on, Little John. Yeah.
Yeah.
Well,
Okay.
so I mean, I'm new to all bourbon groups. I mean, I guess I'm right at a year when I started like adding in bourbon groups to Facebook. You know, to be honest, I'm typically so busy throughout the day when I even do get on social media. Most of the time it's the weekend, and it's usually like, you know, I'll scroll past pictures of people posting bottles. I hate the crotch shots, but you know, and those types of flex posts. But what I find more, what bothers me more is just the lack of community on these actual community pages.
Oh,
You
that's
know,
a good one.
people will post something, you know, and then, you know, the first 5 comments are, you know, it's mixed, you know, half and half between, oh, good, you know, good find, or, you know, you're a shitbag for liking that, you know, for that bourbon. And it's just like, man, this is supposed to be a community page. Like, we're, you know, this is like a brotherhood, or, you know, just a community of folks who like bourbon. And it's just like, why be a part of that community when it's all just, you know, people just bashing others for, you know, for their taste in which they like. But I think that's probably what bothers me the most.
Yeah, I hear that. For I guess if I'm going to chime in at all,
Fine.
seriously, like unless I see like really like one of you guys, and it's most often like Jay or Jeff in like the Nashville bourbon page, like when I see their post, I'll pay attention to it. Like, what are their questions? Because I know like it's not a post that's in like bad faith or whatever. It's like I might be genuinely interested in what they have to say about whatever it is, you know, that they're talking about. Other people, like, I just scroll on because people, it's the internet. Like, people are just going to be petty because that's what people do on the internet. They act petty. And like, you can choose to get upset about that, or you can choose to realize people are just being petty on the internet, and bourbon groups are really not any different than any other kind of group. People are just going to be petty, and you get to decide how you want to feel about that. If you want to feel any kind of way, if you even have the disposable time to invest in such a thing. And I oftentimes don't. So I just want to look. The only posts that I even pay attention to are like, usually it's like someone who's maybe like kind of new to, you know, learning about bourbon or whiskey or just spirits in general, and they have a question and they're asking in earnest. Like, okay, you know, this person's just looking for information. You know, I might chime in to help them out, you know, and offer, you know, some honest opinion about it, whatever. And if people like it or don't like it, I don't really care, because it was for whoever posted the question. And I just move on with my life. Most of the time I don't even look, because it's not worth it. It's just not worth it.
I think I find it funny that when people talk about, definitely on the veteran page, and they talk about how great Jack Daniels is.
Guys, I'll be right back.
All right.
They talk about how great Jack Daniels is, and I'm sitting there going, no, it's really not.
See, this is where it goes. This is where it goes wrong, right? It's when you're like, you're stupid for. No, I'm not saying you did that, but like,
Could have happened.
oh, okay.
How much would you pay for this? And I'm like, how much are you giving me? Because I'm not going to pay for that.
the thoughts, like, hey, I just bought this bottle. What are your thoughts on it? You know what, motherfucker? You're the one who bought it. You drink it and you tell me what you think of it, so that way I can go make an educated guess if I want to buy it or not.
Wait a minute. Didn't I see you post one of those?
Or did you post thoughts facetiously? He's thinking about it though. I mean, when you,
No, I
when you
don't.
post
I
a lot.
Yeah, I post a fake crotch shot of me and my boat on the trailer in the parking lot of Chili's.
That's funny. You should have posted, when you posted it, you should have wrote all of that into the post.
That'll be good.
At Chili's in the parking lot.
Yeah.
I'm on a
Next time
boat.
I'll panoramic so you can actually see the Chili's sign.
That's hilarious. What about
Or
you,
the
Chuck?
3D pictures. Oh,
What about you, Chuck? Do you have anything that just, I know if we had Jay here, he's like, I love everything. All of it's great. happy world.
But see, because he's like that, I will pay attention to the things that he posts.
No, I pay attention to everything he posts too. I'm like, and hell, my phone tells me it's like Jay Cooper updated his background. Jay Cooper posted something about bourbon. Jay Cooper done this. And I'm like, all right,
Jody Stocks, Jay Cooper.
I think what it is if you hit a lot of likes on somebody's post or something like that, it becomes one of those notifications.
Algorithms.
Mhm.
Yeah.
I believe you're right.
But anyway, Chuck.
As
What
far as posts go on some of the sites, I've become basically numb to it all
Mm.
because of the fact that it's the same thing over and over again. Am I doing this right? Prove me wrong. Blanton sucks. Prove me
Dude,
wrong.
that's what gets me all the time is Blanton sucks. I'm like, I get it. You don't have to like Blantons. Because I mean, I don't like Jack Daniels, and I get that. You know,
Yeah.
I get it. But I don't post every day about Jack Daniels sucks.
Yeah.
Right. I mean,
You
I
have a
just, I-
Barcast where you get to say every episode.
yeah.
I don't feel about it.
I've become just numb to it, and I just scroll through. I just scroll past.
And
it.
we're numb to it, man.
But I think also those kind of things are people who can't get their hands on it, or
Exactly.
they just want to start some shit, because naturally, if you say Blanton suck, only 150 people are going to respond to it or
At
whatever,
least.
So whatever it does, the algorithm puts them a little higher up on the charts, because it's like today I made a post and Instagram sent me a notification. This post is trending 85% more than your last 3 posts. So when that happens, people get off on that, because people are paying
absolutely.
attention.
God,
And
I
of
haven't
course,
posted IG in forever.
yeah. And, of course, the more people you get commenting on it or liking it or whatever, it hypes people up who are into that thing, who are into it for that
Oh,
reason.
nice.
Yes, very nice.
I mean, you have the guy that's what is it, Yee Man or Yee Man or whatever he does.
Oh.
Yeah, I think.
I scroll past him.
Yeah.
The
I don't-
chicks
you
with
know-
their tits hanging out. They pull that stunt with the look.
I can't remember the
I'm
guy's
drinking a-
name, but it's just like a lifestyle
I don't-
brand kind of thing.
I don't scroll past those.
The chicks with the breast.
We know, we've seen
Oh
it in the
look,
after
we're
show.
drinking, and it's the same ones every time, and they're just
Yeah.
looking for attention.
Or
You
what's
know?
the one? I think it's WS, whatever it is.
Yeah, that one.
Ladies' night they have,
Yes.
and that's what they do.
And then, of course, they bitch about it when they get private messages. Oh, you're private messaging me. Yeah, well, that's a bunch of guys. What did you expect?
I mean, that's the reason why, strip clubs trend. That's the reason why Pornhub is in business. It's because that's what dudes do. So
Mhm.
yeah.
Penelope.
Yeah. I was going to bring that up next. What do you think about the like ladies' night, for example? Like I get it if you want to like for example, Annie's posted on it before, but she's generally been pretty classy with it. A glass, and she'll have on some clothes and all that stuff, and she'll be sitting in her garden or whatever. And that
Did
seems
you
like
say she'll have on some clothes?
well, if you look at some of the other people, you understand why I said that.
Yeah.
I mean, I've seen some in
Yeah.
like negligee, or they got
I've
so
seen,
much, they got so much
I'm in
boobs in
groups
it
where there's
that
a lot
you
of
don't-
cleavage
you don't
or
see
whatever.
that they even have clothes on.
Mm-hmm.
Or what about the guys that post pictures of their wives on a float or something in the pool, and their drink is blurry, but you can see their wife's butt? And I know you've seen this, Jack, because you're the one who made a comment about it, and I didn't laugh at your comment.
Love the background, by the way.
Well, that's what people look like when they post like that. Am I doing it right?
I don't know if this is gonna get us kicked off of Zoom, but when I see guys who post pictures like that of their girlfriends or their wives, whatever, I'm thinking, you know what? That guy's a cockhole or something. That's just what it is.
You don't know what that
It
is. Google
depends.
search it, guys.
Yeah.
That's
Put
what I
yourself
just
in-
think. I'm like, okay, if you want to put all your business out there, fine. I mean, you must not mind some other dude ramming your chick in front of you. That's it. That's what you're into.
He probably tater pays for Blantons.
Jesus.
Well, I don't want to get into people's sex life and what they may or may not like and stuff like that.
This took a turn, didn't it?
Lord have mercy.
That makes
Oh
it
my.
escalate quite a bit.
So
I'm calm
This
today.
whole
Don't worry
show
about
just
it.
went off the rails.
yes. So
Keep it.
For
I
the
was
first
shot out of a
time.
cannon.
Yeah.
I was shot out of a cannon last show. This one,
And I'm being good
keeping
today.
it safe.
Yeah, you.
Yeah.
and yeah. Whatever.
Yeah.
All right, let's get it together, fellas. Let's get it together.
So for me, it's definitely the ones that get me are the crotch shot ones are like, this is just stupid. Now, don't get me wrong. I find some to be hilarious. Like the guy had on the really, really shorty shorts and had like the really small bottle of like airplane size bottle of whiskey. And then he's got like, he's in a Honda, you know?
You know about the guy with like the hairy gut with the little
Yeah,
bottle?
yeah. That was,
Yeah.
that was hilarious because I think that person sees the same dumb fuckery I see in it. You know, like,
I mean, the fact of the
Yeah, I
matter
saw
is
that one. I agree with you. Yeah.
people will do that because it gets a reaction. The fact that we're even having a show, even talking about it during part of a show, is only going to reinforce that behavior. Whatever, if we like it or don't like it, we think it's funny, we think
well,
it's
if it brings
stupid.
viewers, I'm down with that.
I mean, that's literally
They
how
get
it
shut
works.
down.
And the
Well,
more
they're getting shut
controversial
down
we
now,
get,
though.
probably the more people will pay attention to us. I'm just putting it
But
out.
and again, I think David makes a good point. It is all about attention, and it's either trying to bring people to the page, bring people to the comment, and whoever knows, you never know what's behind these posts, what they're really all about. But if it's controversial at all, or if there's some sort of scanty clad woman involved or whatever, the funny ones, if you notice, don't get a whole lot of reaction. But the ones with the chicks and the boobs and this and that, those are the ones that people go crazy. I mean, you look at it, they'll have 300-400 likes,
Mhm.
and it's like,
Somebody actually posted a cartoon.
I saw a
of that.
funny meme of that. It
Cartoon
was
of
like
it.
some guy posted a bottle of like Weller or something like that, and it's like 2 likes. It's like, you should be humble about what you get. And then there's like the other side of the meme is a picture of like some well-endowed woman with a bottle, like a tiny like airplane bottle of like Fireball. They're like, great first whiskey, like
Oh, yeah.
300 likes, and like
Yeah.
everyone's losing their mind
Yeah.
about it. It's like, okay, I mean, we know how guys are. We know how we
Yeah.
are.
Yeah. Pretty much.
I will.
So let me ask you this: what about guns? Like that's been a lot of controversy as well. Like I get it. People are like, guns and booze don't go together. I'm like, it's not like they're out shooting it at the same time. It's like they're just posting a picture of 2 things they love. Like, and that's a hard one for me because I love guns and I love bourbon.
It's funny. I'm with you on that, Jody. As I own a couple of ARs.
I did until my
Your
unfortunate
boating accident.
yeah,
Yeah, I'm so
where I
sorry
took my
about that.
entire safe out on the boat.
Yeah, but I personally, on a personal level, the guns don't bother me. However, I understand that who knows what people are dealing with, and they just if they just want to talk bourbon, then I'm okay with it. I got several T-shirts. You guys have probably seen it. Shooter's World, and I got a couple of Glock and some other firearm T-shirts. I don't typically wear those though.
But you could. Here's the thing, though. You can just scroll past. It's kind of like with me with crotch shots. Unless it's one that's fucking hilarious, I scroll right past. I'm like,
I agree, but I feel personally, I feel like me sipping a bottle of bourbon is not going to trigger someone, be it in a negative manner. God forbid, but if they had a loved one that was just shot, some people watch the news and we had another mass shooting and they internalize it. You're not going to come to Bourbon Group pissed off about. Well, hopefully you're not going to come to Bourbon Group pissed off that somebody drank Blanton's. Now, if it's Jack, they might, but otherwise, who knows? I don't know if anyone is mad at Billy because Billy cooked pork. It could be. I don't know. As far as I know of, I've never heard anyone complain about Billy cooking pork that I know of.
so that would be both the Muslims and the Jews wouldn't like that, right?
listen,
Only on Ramashamash.
Or anyone that's read Leviticus, but I'm gonna leave that alone.
I will tell you this: has anybody ever complained about me
Mark,
cooking
thank
pork?
you. You can look it out.
I would make sure and tag them in every single pork picture that I post. Every single one of them.
Yeah, and I will say this though, in terms of funny groups, so I always feel like I have to apologize to Chuck because Chuck and I are probably in about 20 different groups together, and then
Yeah.
I felt bad because I probably added him to about 3 or 4 more.
Well,
I don't mind it
what's-
though. I don't mind at
What's
all.
bad
Yeah.
with me is like when you go through my feed, it's like bourbon. I can't even keep up with my friends anymore. It's like bourbon,
That's how mine is, yeah.
bourbon. And then there'd be some firearms where I used to be a firearm owner before I had that unfortunate incident where I
Yeah.
lost my weapons in the ocean, and they were not ocean, but the lake, and they
He
were
lost his
safe.
weapon.
Shut up.
I mean,
I couldn't let that go.
But if you think about it, you know, bourbon, whiskey, guns, cigars, those are kind of John Wayne
Masculine things.
American thing. So to me,
The all-American.
I
shit.
don't have a problem with it.
Yeah.
And more than anything, believe it or not, there's somebody out there who's offended by our show.
Oh, for sure.
There's some-
Oh, please.
you know, there's somebody out there who's offended that I smoke cigars and this, that, or there's somebody who feels like, you know, I'm not kind to the animals because I'm always cooking them. You know, it's just, you're not
He
gonna
shoots him, you cook him. See? We're
yeah,
assholes.
you're
He
not
shoots
gonna
him,
ever
you
please
cook him. We're
anybody.
And the
assholes,
vegans
man.
hate
Yeah.
you, man. I'm sure.
But I think you bring up
Yeah.
a very important aspect. Is it the masculinity that people are offended by when it comes to whether, for example, a crotch shot, or there's a firearm, or boobs, or whatever?
So
Well,
I've only been offended by one crotch shot. I don't remember which group it is. I want to say it's one of the local groups I'm in. And this dumbass, well, I don't know what it was, but he shows a crotch shot with supposedly an erection. Now I don't know if it was something there. I'm like, dude, come on, man. Really?
So here's the thing. I'm gonna show you guys a picture.
No.
Oh.
Oh.
Just
Excuse me while I whip this thing
No,
out.
it's
Hold
okay.
up, God damn it.
That was a
I
terrible.
Can we see it though?
No, it's
Listen.
Do you need to use a flash?
Marcus left.
But I'm gonna show you guys a picture because we were talking about guns and bourbon and people being offended, and I want to know if you guys would get offended by this. And I will say this: this picture did not get flagged on Facebook or anywhere else.
Hell.
It bothers me your fingers on the trigger.
Yeah. Terrible, terrible.
That's horrible gun
Yeah.
safety.
Bad trigger discipline.
Yep.
But does the picture offend you?
No.
It's just a black dude with poor trigger control and
Yeah.
and a bottle of
You're-
bourbon.
And a
You're
bottle
an
of
idiot.
nectars.
I'm not offended, but you're an idiot, you know.
I mean, granted, you know,
He
but
obviously hadn't shot before. His wife shoots better than him. I mean, these are the things I would be judging you by, but it wouldn't bother me.
all right, but
Well,
I cook better than
that's-
the wife, so it's okay. It evens out.
That part's
That-
true. She
that-
ain't gonna starve.
There you go. But yeah, but Joe, so Jody, going back to that point though, I would say in terms of groups, I'd say what the craziest post to me actually come through All Things Bourbon. I know Chuck is in, I can't remember who else is in there. Was All Things Bourbon. That group gets crazy.
Yeah, it does.
In general, I post the most unobnoxious posts there is. You know, I just talk shit about my day, my dad, what we do. I typically stay away from those silly fuckery comments. So
I'm hungry.
Well, yeah, I'm hungry, but I usually don't post. That's usually on my page. But it means it's just,
No. When he posts that, I feel better because I'm like, you know what? I'm hungry too.
Well, the thing is typically when he posts that,
I'm right there with you, man. Like I'm
most
hungry.
time when he posts that, I'm like, wow, I didn't even think about it. I'm hungry as well.
Seriously.
And the first
But
time
that's
solidarity all the way.
I actually said that to him. I was like, I'm hungry too. And then I thought it was like a running joke. Like, is this a white person joke? Because like
I don't think it's I think it's
a few days
guy who
later,
gets
like
hungry a lot,
it's like
Joe.
every day he's talking about. I'm like, am I not getting this? Like, is he out to purge white folks?
Let me hear what Lil John has a take on
Hold
this.
on. So real quick, I
All
was
in
just
the
gonna say, so that one is full of crotch shots and stuff. Chuck has seen me somehow piss people off. I don't know how people get pissed off at some of the weirdest posts.
Oh yeah, I've seen the one guy got pissed off because you had a bottle of gin or vodka or rum or
Yeah, it
something
was
like that.
a rum or some guy like lose his shit because I had a bottle of rum.
Oh, he
Yes.
lost his shit big time.
There's like 4 pictures of bourbon and 1 picture and 1 bottle of rum, and he's like totally. I'm like that's really bothering. That hurts your feelings, huh? He actually said yes.
Mm-hmm.
At least he was honest.
Yeah.
We
All right.
should, we should be able to talk about our feelings.
Hey, Lil John.
Let's see what Lil John has to say about this.
Yeah.
Well, the picture it doesn't offend me. I just laugh because that's the guy that like shoots it like this off sideways. So
Gangster.
he's gonna be leaning back as he's shooting it, so his aim's gonna be shit.
But he's gonna look good as shit when he does it.
But he's gonna look thug.
And you know, it was funny because I did it to piss a bunch of people off and it worked.
That was you?
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, that's me.
You trying to say all black folks look alike? What's up, Chuck?
No, I'm not.
Yeah,
Whoa.
that's me.
Yeah, I could tell that was you because I've seen that picture before.
Well,
Okay.
the only reason I might have thought Billy because I saw the Mickers bottle.
There you go.
Fair.
Mickers.
That was your deductive
But, you know,
abilities right there.
When I posted the picture,
Victor, that's Billy.
I was actually really just in it to piss off a certain person, and it worked. But I mean, I pissed off a whole other lot of people too. But you know, it's one of those things of how easily people get offended. Like seriously, how easy they get offended.
Yeah,
So-
it's,
Well,
let's go.
we're talking about this, you know, the dumb fuckery, and I think part of it comes back to like the way I perceive bourbon, or the bourbon community. You know, I think when you know, when I you know, really got into bourbon, I saw it as kind of a classy drink. It was a classy individual who drink bourbon. You know, like I don't know who's seen like the TV show Mad Men. Like I think of, you know, someone who sips bourbon is, you know, a Don Draper. You know, someone who, you know, cares for themselves. You know, is big on appearances. Just a worker. You know, contributes to society. You know, but then when you get on these, you know, these bourbon pages, you know, people, it's just not classy. You know, so it kind of, it's kind of opened me up to a whole different environment. I don't know. I just find it kind of interesting, from how, or what I perceive as, you know, what bourbon is to me, and what I see in these other bourbon communities.
I dig it. Yeah, when I'm looking at, like, it's that's kind of what you said is kind of what I was hoping for, to go back to your earlier statement about the community. You know,
Do you make those hang on a second, Jack? Do you make those on the fly, or do you have these like queued up and like you're just like ready to go?
The bland ones I just
way
made.
too on time.
No, the bland ones I just made. The rest of it is just Google, man. Google's your friend. Embrace it.
Dumb fuckery everywhere. Very nice.
Yeah.
Sorry.
Jack is
Go
special.
ahead.
You can't find us an Apple. You got to go to Google.
So for me, it's more of about what I miss about the group, not our group, because I think our group is definitely about the VIP chat. If you're not a member of the VIP chat, you want to be part of it. But it's about the tasting notes. It's about the camaraderie. It's about whenever someone's sick or whatever, or having some type of personal issue going on, people are looking out for each other. But it's the conversation that occurs on the page with the group, you know. And I would say for the most part, bourbon junkies are very much the same as well. Like, it's a community, more so. I mean, don't get me wrong, they got some dumb fuckery on there too, but for the most part, they have limited dumb fuckery and more quality discussions, except for when they're making fun of the host and stuff, which I find funny too. So
I mean, it's one thing to, you know, engage in humor and give each other shit and stuff like that. It's another thing to just be like, you know, the normal, you know, open sewer that is the internet, and just the unwashed opinions of the masses, and all the hateful, petty, invective crap. Like, I enjoy the part I enjoy about bourbon, and the part I enjoy particularly about this group is, one, I do really feel like, you know, we are a close-knit group. We're family here. You know, and when we talk about things, it's because we have a genuine interest that we share with each other. You don't see that in a lot of these other groups. And I think that's kind of like the consensus opinion that we're coming to here, is like a lot of people, they don't really get it. It's like, this is a great thing to be a part of, you can make it shitty if you want to, but I mean, no one's doing that but you really. So, you know, and that's not what I'm here for. I don't think anybody in this group is here for it either.
Dig.
No,
Dig.
I'll drink to that.
Yep.
Oh yeah.
All right. So we're towards the end of the night. So let's call it. And guys, it's all been fun. We'll move to the after show for a little bit while we watch my Vanderbilt Commodores get molested by Mississippi State.
Ooh, 5-0.
You didn't have to say it out loud.
Just fact checking. Just fact checking over here. Don't
What
worry
are
about
friends
it.
for, right?
So we're not really friends. Speaking of which, he was supposed to, the only reason why he's over here tonight was what?
Was to bring you the. Well, it wasn't the only reason. I like to hang out. You like to hang out, presumably. I was supposed to bring him his bottle of Colonel Taylor, and I fucking left it.
Hold on, Dave. You don't come over here.
Where's over here?
Arizona.
That's different. Like every week for you. Where's over here?
So you still come over here.
I'll come over. Let me know next time you can come to Georgia. Let me know.
Oh, see,
I'll meet you in Georgia. It's like 3.5 hours.
All right, brothers.
What's your name? What? What is your name? Tony!